Okay, here we go. The Pen and Mikey Show.
He's about to get crazy and wild. Stay for a while. Don't touch your radio dial.
The Pen and Mikey Show.
Kicking it back, sports talk. Listen to that and stay tuned for some giggles and laughs. Go. When honest people say what's true, calmly and without embarrassment, they become powerful. At the same time, the liars who've been trying to silence them shrink, and they become weaker. That's the iron law of the universe. True things prevail. Welcome to the Planet Mikey Show.
And for that reason, Tucker, we thank you for that. I am going to speak nothing but the truth in tonight's podcast.
Really?
I'm not going to lie at all.
Well, we've never known you to lie about anything.
No, well, I never really do lie. So, in fact, I was just about an hour ago, I was talking to Madonna on the phone, and I was telling her that, I'm the one guy, Madonna, you can count on to tell you the truth, okay? Yep. And she said, I said, get the phone out of your pants.
You're lying. She didn't really say that.
She's a whore. Anyway, I mean it's just a phrase. Yeah. I don't mean she gets paid for sex. I mean that's just a word, whatever.
Ben,
how you guys doing?
That's our host, Mike.
Yeah, his mic's not on, by the way.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Better be.
There it is.
Thanks, Bill.
I like technical snafus. My TV show, 6 years on NECN, existed solely on the strength of our faux pas and our snafus. And our bad situations, technologically.
That's why it was fun.
Well, that's all we had. Really, was the ability to laugh at ourselves.
It wasn't all corporate and scripted and programmed to death.
To get a good laugh out of myself.
Nobody knew what was going to be said on that show.
I didn't even know. No one knew. And by the way, Eric Evangelista, who's been on this program, used to load my prompter with fake shit. He would just type something in.
Like Ron Burgundy?
He goes, and I wear stupid clothes, and I'm an asshole. He'd put it in there, see if I'd read it. And sometimes I'm like, you're reading along doing a story, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, God, you bastard. And they tried to get me that way, and it worked or something. Oh, this is Planet Mikey episode. We don't know what number, do we?
Yes, I do.
222?
226?
225. 225. Yep.
2 1/4.
225
Shave and a
podcasts.
haircut, 2 bits.
That's right.
Planet Mikey episode number 225, being recorded on the 17th of May.
Nice day.
2023.
Chilly. Chilly day.
I've been told I should document when these things were recorded because that way people understand more the context of what we're talking about.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't do that, it's like looking through old newspapers. That's fun. Do you ever do that?
Yes.
I take them right out of the cat box.
That's
and they're all yellow. And I think that's fun.
You keep the cat box in the bathroom, do you?
I don't even have a cat.
I was going to say, I didn't think you had a cat.
No, we use them. Well, never litter, okay, and always recycle. Bill Lee will tell you that. In fact, let's get Bill Lee on the phone in a little while here, and because I want to ask him about two things that are baseball related. He's not really scheduled per se to be the guest of note on the show, but he always answers the phone because he's accommodating.
And he's a good man.
He's a good man. We are brought to you by Pro Automotive. Speaking of good men, Pro Automotive of Webster and Dudley, ProAutomotiveMA.com is their website. They are the very best in car repair services. The certified mechanics are the very best. They're honest. I trust them with all three of my cars.
Oh.
Ed Markey, Markey Mark, and my wife has, I think, a Mazda.
Well, these are the Grand Marquis, that in case we have someone who doesn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the car. So they take care of all my vehicles there, and they're at 199 Oxford Avenue in Dudley. That's the original location, and they have another location at 626 South Main Street in Webster and 8 Englewood Street in Webster as well. Now, some of you may say, well, I live in Plymouth, Massachusetts. I can't get there.
Well, I live in Groton, and I can't get there.
Guess what?
What?
It's worth your time to go there and get somebody was going to take care of it right the first time, and that's Jason.
Not gonna rob me.
Jason Russo's crew. They would never think of that, and they keep you posted on how the progress. Okay, the car's in for service now. Here's what we found. They give you text messages so that you can.
I can't stop thinking about when we had him on. Like, what was it? 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and I told him like the issue that the dealership that I bring my car to quoted me.
Right.
And he didn't really respond. He just kind of was like, "Ho."
Well,
and I keep thinking about it. I was like, Is he like $1,000 cheaper? What's going on?
Well, this is the thing that they have a lot of return customers. That's why they've expanded from 1 to 3 locations, and all run by Jason. And he knows how to get this done right with
Plus,
people.
it's nice to bring your car in and you can trust the guy that's doing the work.
It's just a good feeling. And plus, they give you every opportunity to, all along the way, they're telling you what they're doing, how much it's going to cost. They're very, very good. Anyway, that's a true.
You know what else, too? You can say no, and he doesn't try to hard sell you. Just it's your
He would never.
No, but he respects your decision. He'll give you the advice.
Right.
And then he'll respect your decision.
He told me to take the leopard skin seats out of my car, that it would sell for more.
He told me about that, too.
So anyway, proautomotivema.com. Call Morgan. She might answer the phone. There's 2 ladies in the office who will answer the phone, Amber and Morgan. They're both sweet ladies, and they will take care of lining you up with the time that works for you. I mean, listen, I really, really believe in this company, and I have 3 cars. Okay, so you guys only have 2. Okay, we're also brought to you by our friends at Giacomo's in Melrose. Ooh. We're all going to go there and eat dinner one night, and we'll bring the women,
We
too.
could do the podcast from Giacomo's.
We could do that, too.
Yeah.
Although it's always crazy crowded. It might be a little noisy for a podcast,
That's
but
good.
it's really, really a popular
We
spot.
have some technological equipment.
Authentic Italian cuisine at Giacomo's Melrose, legendary. 454 Main Street in Melrose. And if you see Richie there, tell him we said hello, because he's the master chef. Who else sponsors us? Oh, well, my grandma's coffee cake.
Oh, yes.
The world's greatest coffee cake, and there's no denying it. Okay? There.
And FanDuel. Because I know you have money on this Celtics Heat Eastern Conference Finals.
Of course I do. Are you
I know
kidding?
by the time you're listening to it, game 1's already happened. But how much do you have on it?
I raided my son's piggy bank. And then I went to one of those little coin changing machines at the bank, threw it all in there. Guess how much it was? $86.
Wow.
Ooh.
I put it all on the Celtics for tonight. And if they lose, I'm going to ask you guys for $86 to loan me till next week so my son doesn't cry. Okay? He shouldn't cry. He's 40,
robbed your son's
41 years old.
savings bank.
He's got piggy bank. Okay, lots going on in the world of whatever it is we talk about.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah.
Today, I got an email from Vinny.
At the gun at the,
Shawsheen
at Shawsheen Firearms?
Yeah. So he says,
So he shot you an email.
He said, hey, here's my new commercial. It was a short video.
Well, while we're in commercial mode, let's do you have it?
I have it right here. I got the audio, and what happens is Vinny goes ahead and steps into the frame, and he's holding a shotgun, a nice one, and he says this.
Oh, hey there. It's Vinny from Shawsheen Firearms. Hey, I got a question to ask you. Are you a man? Do you feel like you're losing your masculinity? Are you tired of all this woke bullshit? Well, if you're sitting around at home in your skinny jeans, drinking a Bud Light, and wondering if you should go get your 3rd COVID booster, then you need to come down here immediately and buy yourself a gun. Because you need a testosterone booster. I'll see you later.
That's great.
That's Vinny.
And he means it.
Oh, yeah, he does.
That's fabulous. You know, there is something about owning a gun that it's different, makes you feel a little bit different about your scenario, no matter what. Okay, if you have a gun at your house, okay, now you're in your house, you hear a noise outside. It's not like it used to be when you didn't have a gun, where you say, what's that noise? And you look out, you peer out of the window, and you go, what is that? Should we call 911? No, you say, what the hell's this? And you kick the front door open, you step out there, you go, hey, whatever it is. And then a fisher cat bites you on the nuts.
That's right.
And screams about it.
Screams.
Well, Vinny says hi. He sends his best.
He's great.
He wants you to come up and visit him.
Shawsheen Firearms is in Billerica.
Yep.
And I've been there.
Yep.
And it's he's the guy. He's the guy you want to know.
Just like you talk about Jason Russo.
Same thing with
This
Vinny.
guy's the same guy.
Because you know why, Smitty,
Not
you and I,
literally the
we
same
don't-
guy.
Not the
right?
same guy, but it's same. He's honest. He's
We
decent.
don't talk up people that we don't know. Only people we know are good can sponsor this podcast.
And he's a gunsmith. He makes guns from scrap metal. You wouldn't believe. He's like an artist. It's really, really
he
beautiful
makes them,
stuff.
he cleans them, he takes care of them. He
them.
knows everything about
He
them.
knows the whole thing.
I know.
He
It's
was.
good. I'm an expert on some things, but I can't talk about them right now. You know, I studied when I was in college. I told you guys this. I studied gynecology.
Really?
4 years.
Yeah. How'd that
When I
go?
got out, I couldn't find any openings. So we're going to talk about other things tonight.
Okay.
In fact, let's call Bill Lee right now because you have his number over there, right?
I do somewhere here. Hold on.
I have 3 questions for Bill Lee regarding baseball. And the Red Sox had an 8-game winning streak. Then they lost 4 in a row, and they looked awful doing it. And now they've turned that. They won last night, right?
Yep.
So that's one. But the big thing for tonight, though, because we're recording this on a Wednesday, if Game 1 of the NBA playoffs tonight at 8:30. We're recording this at what time?
5:30.
5:30.
5:30. Yeah.
5:30. You know when I always try to go to the dentist? 2:30.
Hey, didn't you say?
Hello?
Hey, spaceman!
Hiya.
It's Mikey Adams and Ben Ketchum, Bill Swift, everybody. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I feel very good tonight. I don't know why. I just do. And I wanted to ask you some stuff. You got a second?
Yeah, I do.
All right. First things first. Did you hear about... I'm sure you did. Did you hear about Vida Blue?
I did hear about Vida Blue when I was flying home from Kansas City, actually, and I flew over Burlington, Iowa, where he struck me out twice at 5 o'clock.
It was because of the sunset at 5 o'clock?
Because the sunset, it was exactly, I told the umpire, I said, that last one sounded high.
So you knew Vida Blue?
I knew Vida Blue like a brother, yeah. He closed a bar in Cooperstown with my boy and my grandson a few years back when he was doing a signing out there. And, yeah, he's a good kid.
Well, you've known a lot of players in your day, but what can you say special about Vida Blue, aside from the fact that you remember, you were there, I'm sure, when Sonny Siebert and Vida Blue paired up in 1971 as both undefeated pitchers, one for the Oakland Athletics and one for the Red Sox. They were both 8-0.
They were, and Sonny and I lived in Nahant that year, and he got off to a great start, and then he sprained his ankle after that game, and he was never the same. He was running on the beach and stepped on a rock. Oh. And that was the end of Sonny Siebert and the Boston Red Sox. And I remember Petrocelli hit 2 home runs off of Vida Blue and beat him.
In that game?
Yes.
Yeah, good old Rico, huh? How great a guy is Rico Petrocelli?
Rico's the best, you know. He dropped the gloves. He hated the Yankees. His brother's a cop down there, worked at the Madison Square Garden. Helped a lot of my friends with tickets and stuff, and he hated the Yankees. And you know, he just, if every fight you ever saw, Rico was in the picture.
He was. In fact, I was watching an old classic that you were on with Bob Lobel, sitting on the set with him, and you were talking about the '78 brawl at Yankee, the brawl in '78. 76, right, at Yankee Stadium. When Piniella came around, crashed into fist, they started fighting, and you got your shoulder separated by nettles. All that stuff was going on. And, the thing about Rico was he would get involved every single time. What a great teammate, huh?
He was a great teammate, and he loved altercations. He was the first one there. He never shirked his duty. He was the kind of guy you would want to be in the trenches in Okinawa in the bunker with him, or on Pork Chop Hill in Korea.
Well, rest in peace, Vida Blue, one of the great left-handers of all time. It's clearly one of the greatest African-American pitchers of all time. You know, you're talking Fergie Jenkins, Bob Gibson. I mean, the great ones. And Vida Blue had such stuff. He was a most valuable player. And a switch hitter and a left-hander. The guy had really good stuff. And
a very cool name.
Yeah, he was the last MVP that was a switch hitter. And people, it's a trivia question, and it was Vida Blue.
Yeah, right.
Only hit 1 home run.
Last MVP to be a switch hitter. Now, just a couple things. Domingo, what's his name, Ben?
Herman?
The guy on the Yankees that got caught putting stick-em stuff on the ball. He got kicked out of the game, and he's going to be suspended. Oh, no. I wanted to ask you, because, this is something we all know about Gaylord Perry. That's one guy who got away with it for an entire career.
Yeah, but he went frictionless. He didn't want more grip on the ball. He wanted less grip on the ball.
Yeah, slicker.
He was slicker. KY gel. He put it in the lining of his hat.
Yeah.
And he'd go through all his magnifications, and they never caught him. I remember I said, the 73 Anaheim Angels, if they banned KY jelly, the whole staff would be unemployed.
He was really probably the most masterful, guy at getting.
He was the best. You're right.
Getting away with it. But who can you name some names of some other people that you knew did it?
Don Sutton scuffed the ball every time he went out there. Whitey Ford used a mud ball, and his ball was scuffed on the shin guards of Yogi Berra.
The catcher, yeah.
Well, if you weren't cheating, you weren't trying. You know.
Now, did
Mordecai Three-Finger Brown? He had one of his fingers chopped off, and that he could throw the ball; it wouldn't go straight.
Yeah, well, he was a proctologist. That's how he lost that finger. Three-Finger Brown, baby. It's a sad thing. Albert Pujols too. Now, let me ask you this: Did you ever cheat?
Yeah, when I had my arm was sore, I cut the Wilson sticker out of my Wilson glove and put in black, 40 grit black emery cloth, and I painted the W, the Wilson sticker on there.
That's
and
great.
I roughed up the ball.
Oh, that's fabulous. And it worked. Did it work out for you?
Well, I didn't. I had bad years then. I wasn't throwing that hard, but I realized that I had a good sinker even without it, and my arm healed pretty good, and I became a notorious shitballer after that, which I am to this day.
That's fabulous. All right, now let me ask you about you pitched with some really good on some really good pitching staffs. Okay, so I'm going to name 4 or 5 starting Red Sox pitchers that were in the rotation same time as you, and if you could just give us a few comments on each one and what made them different. All right.
Yeah.
Rick Wise.
Rick Wise, the Owl Man, blind as a bat, hit 2 home runs in a World Series in a Major League Baseball game through a no-hitter. He also hit home runs and won the Little League World Series. He hid behind his glove, and he threw everything out of the same slot, and he was very deceptive. We called him the Owl Man because he looked like a big hoot owl.
He did. He really did. But he was good especially in 75. What did he do? Win 18 games or something like that, right? Right?
Yeah, and he was good before that with Philly and the St. Louis Cardinals. He was good. Rick
Wise. And then there's the owl for Wise potato chips. Is that the tie-in, do you think?
Yeah, but his eyes. He looked like an owl sitting on a perch.
All right. Fergie Jenkins, who you and I had a wonderful dinner with over in Westboro, Massachusetts, and I love the guy. What you pitched with him, 2 years?
Yes, I did. And he tore his ankle on a bunt play, his Achilles, and he healed pretty good. We got rid of him. He's one of the first guys that Zimmer got rid of the Buffalo Head gang.
Yeah.
He goes back to Arlington, Texas, and becomes a Hall of Famer.
Right.
He wins all the games down there. One of the great right-handers of all time. He also played, for the Harlem Globetrotters with Bob Gibson in the winter, and he also was a skater like Frank Mahovlich. He could have been a Hall of Famer in 3 sports.
Fergie Jenkins. My favorite stat from Fergie, and he had a lot of 20 games win seasons, but my favorite stat from him is 1971 when he was Cy Young, 30 complete games.
Unbelievable.
30.
Yeah, he could pitch. I mean, he had a great changeup, had a little slider, and he had a 2-seamer that run in on your hands, and he had pinpoint control. He didn't walk anybody. He was as good as they got.
Okay, a couple more real quick ones here because these are 2 guys I'm very fond of. Louis Tiant. Okay, I mean, was he the funniest guy?
He was the greatest left-hander of all time for the New York Cubans. He was probably the best left-hander in Cuban history, and he's not in the Negro Hall of Fame or the Baseball Hall of Fame. His, both father and son should be in there together.
That's right.
That's how good Louis and his dad were.
Louis, he's the best. I like just listening to him talk. If you can understand him, you find out that he's the funniest guy in the room. But you have to be able to understand him first.
Oh, he is so funny. He is sharp. He's clever. He worked for the lottery system and used to carry a handgun around, and he was licensed to do that.
I like that. After a game, they'd say, "So Louis, what happened?" I went in a game 5-2, and then the third inning hit the ball. It's a bad thing for you, not for me. Mm-hmm.
He did have he had a high voice when he spoke English.
Yes, he did. Now, Dennis Eckersley, this is the last one I want to ask you about. Eckersley's in the Hall of Fame. I heard Ken Coleman say this one time, that Eckersley, with his 390 saves and his 199, he was involved in more victories as a major leaguer, as a pitcher, than Cy Young.
Yes, he was. And as far as you had the chance that he could have lost those games, the saves that he got, plus his wins, and his walk ratio to strikeouts for the way he threw was unbelievable. He threw like rabbits out on the side, but he had pinpoint control, and he was such a dancer, and he had the best vocabulary. He's a great announcer and a great friend of mine. And we're both Bay Area boys from California, so we know what we're talking about. We can deal.
We can deal. So let me ask you how you're feeling before we say goodnight to our friend Spaceman Bill Lee. How you doing? How's your heart? How's your pacemaker?
It snowed all day up here in Craftsbury.
Did it?
It snowed. All this white shit was coming out, looked like dandruff from God's head, and it didn't stick on the roof. It was so dry and cold. It was 41 degrees, 39 degrees, cloudy, snowed. It was supposed to drop to 20 tonight. We had to recover all our plants. So if I make it through the night and I fly to Las Vegas and I pitch on Friday and Saturday, you're pitching for this. Call Sparky Lyle and bet black 28 and see how much money I can make.
Now you're pitching with the Savannah Bananas in Vegas.
In Vegas this weekend.
And are you getting the start?
No, I never get the start. I come in the 8th inning after I have a beer and I bring the rosin bag back to the mound.
Well, good luck in those games.
If you mix saliva and rosin, you get pine tar. Both are legal, but if you mix them together, you have a foreign substance.
That's great. Well, good luck in those games. Safe travels, my friend. And
thank you, guys, and I'll see you when I get back.
All right, I hope so. Take care.
Bye-bye.
The Spaceman live from Craftsbury, Vermont, where it fucking snowed today. Can you believe that shit? I know it was cool this morning, but God, was that cold up there? Craziness, huh, Smitty?
Well, there's supposed to be they say that there's a freeze warning for tonight. The night this podcast is being recorded, it's going to drop down to freezing tonight. So if you've got plants out there, you got to do something with them.
Yeah. I have only one plant, and I take good care of him. I call him Robert Plant. He's in my yard, and he's, I don't even know what kind of plant he is, but he's a plant. He's, clearly growing.
What do you do with him when the levee breaks?
I drive my Chevy to the levee.
But what if the levee's dry?
I turn around and I say, bye-bye, Miss American. All right. Don't do this to me, Don McLean.
Sorry.
By the way, Don McLean may be the most boring interview I've ever done in my radio career. And I've done thousands of them, right?
You mean the guy who's saying, Starry Night?
That's called...
That guy was boring?
The song
you
is
don't
called
say.
Vincent, by the way.
I know about Van Gogh.
Okay. Don't cut off your ear. It's just to spite your face. Don McLean came on. This is in Portland, Maine. I got to tell you this. This is a radio
Story. Okay, go ahead.
There's no market as bad. One of the worst markets is Portland, Maine.
Why?
Because I don't know. I spent 5 years there in one month. It really is just a drag. So I would try to fill up time with something. So I got somebody gave me Don McLean's number and said, "You do an interview with Don McLean." Okay.
What year is this?
78.
Okay.
The winter of. So now I get Don McLean's phone number, and I say, I got to record this because I was on the morning show, whatever. So I record I sit down and I roll tape. This is a real tape now, Smitty, know.
Yep.
I put a whole big long one on there. I didn't know how long the interview was going to be. Well, guess what? At 7.5 inches per second, we ran out of tape. This guy kept talking and talking and talking, and it was so fucking boring.
Did he tell you anything that was...
No, it was just, it's like, here's how he sounded. Go ahead, ask me a question.
I think he's from Maine originally.
Yeah, I'm Don McLean. You're asking me a question. Here's how he talked. Go ahead, ask me a question.
Don, what was your inspiration for that song?
Well, originally, I was reading a magazine at the dentist's office.
How long you been playing guitar?
Oh, guitar?
Yeah, have you been? I noticed you play guitar when you sing your song.
That's a good question. Let Let me think. This thing went so slowly. It was like, Ed Asner's bowel movements after a cheese fest. It just wasn't happening. So I got this Don McLean interview. How do I cut this down? I take out the boring, and then there's no interview left.
Oh, man.
It was awful. I swear to God.
Don McLean might be listening to this podcast right now.
Oh, there have been some. The other guy. There's been a lot of bad, boring interviews that I've had.
Name names.
No, I don't hurt anybody's feelings.
Name names.
Mutt. No.
Oh no. Oh jeez.
You're an asshole.
No, I'm
Sorry.
seriously though. The thing about Mutt, it's like I don't want him to die or anything like that. I don't hate him like that.
Jesus.
No, I don't hate him like that. Like the hatred hate. I just think he's a no talent, boring asshole. But it's different from wanting him to have He wanted me to have a car crash. He said it on the radio. He said he hopes I drive off the road and hit a tree. He said that on the air.
You think he meant it?
I don't care. You know what I do care about though? The NBA playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Tonight. I'm all over this and.
Now, what do you think? Because by the time this podcast airs, the game will have been won by somebody. Who's going to win and what's the score?
Celtics. Yeah.
Celtics win 112 to 104.
And as a premonition, who's going to be the breakout star tonight?
Well, the breakout star happened the other night with 51 points. Game 7 record.
Yeah.
That's Tatum.
Tatum.
Yeah,
That's
Tatum.
it. Yeah.
Tatum O'Neal. He's a good player. He's Shaquille O'Neal's younger brother, Tatum O'Neal. You might have heard of him. Mm-hmm. All right, so but I'm here to talk about FanDuel for a second because they are the very best and most best equipped to take care of your betting needs.
I saw you on the app earlier.
I tell people now, make a fast break to FanDuel right now, okay? Because it's like a basketball term, and it's kind of clever. So make a fast break to FanDuel during the NBA playoffs, everybody.
You're so dumb.
Because right now, new customers can get a no-sweat first bet. You know what that is? Okay, I'll tell you.
Tell me.
The no-sweat first bet, up to $1,000. That's $1,000 back in bonus bets if your bet doesn't win. So even if you lose, you win.
If it doesn't win, you win by losing.
Exactly. It's a no-sweat first bet.
$1,000.
FanDuel is the thing about them that they make it easy for you too. Their app is safe, it's secure, so safe, so sane, so what do you call it?
Supple.
Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh.
You know that song?
No.
The Worst That Could Happen by the Brooklyn Bridge. And this commercial is going to end up 4 minutes. They have great promotions too. You get paid instantly. It's safe. It's a great app. It's quick. It's easy. There's no better place to place your bet than the playoff action at America's #1 sportsbook. Visit FanDuel.com/Boston. Get a no-sweat first bet. Tell them Mikey sent you. Tell them Ben Kitchen sent you.
Yeah.
Tell them Bill Smith sent you.
Sure, why not?
You won't get anything for the last two of those, but tell them anyway.
You get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's FanDuel.
That's pretty good.
FanDuel.com/Boston. FanDuel's the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Now, you ready for this?
Ready.
I'm going to do this disclaimer.
Take one deep
in
breath
my
and do it all in one
my
breath.
secret voice. Ready?
Oh, okay, go ahead.
21 plus in select states. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issues and non-withdrawable bonus. Bets expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. FanDuel's offering online sports wagering in Kansas. Did you know that? That's right. We're not in Kansas anymore. Dorothy. They have an agreement with Kansas Star Casino. Why do I have to tell people that? That's private. That's why I'm using my secret voice. Call 1-800-GAMBLER if you have a problem with gambling. Visit FanDuel.com/RGCOI.
Read it.
I am. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP. I'm reading it faster than you can hear it. How's that? Or visit ccpg.org/chat Connecticut 1-800-9 with
Read what it says.
1-877-8
Or else they won't pay
New York,
us.
or hope. Yeah, they'll pay us. You think anybody gives a crap about this disclaimer?
All right, finish.
Aside from the advertiser who has to do it.
The lawyers do.
Okay, then let me just finish it then. New York 1-800-522-4700, Wyoming, or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia. If anyone in West Virginia even has a computer.
I have a question. Why would the disclaimer be longer than the actual commercial?
Because that's just stupid.
Because the government. Stupid
All right,
regulations.
well, we did that, though, so now we're clear, right? We're clear on
You
that.
did. You're legal and
Jeez.
yes.
Now, can I move on with the program?
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Can I move on to something? Okay, it's just
Can I finish one time?
Just talk FanDuel. Celtics tonight.
Celtics. Yeah.
Let's make a prediction and see how it comes out next week. Tonight's game, how much did the Celtics win by, or vice versa?
Didn't I just said 8 in my prediction, right?
Did you?
I think.
What did you say?
Did I say? 112, 104?
Yep.
Celtics by 8.
That's the spread, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
Push.
You're good at this. You should work for FanDuel. You know?
should.
And I should work for Jason Russo over at in which store should I go to? Webster, I guess would be the closest one.
What does Pro
Because it reminds you
Automotive?
of the little kid
Doesn't
from
Pro
TV.
Automotive have like a slogan?
Well, here's the thing with Pro Automotive. I won't tell Jason that I want to be in charge of universal ball joints only. I'm a specialist. Okay?
It's all ball bearings now.
Why? Because I'll tell you why. Because I've been to Universal Studios. I have balls, and I smoke joints. So that's Universal ball joints. I'm an expert, and if he's got somebody better than me, he should hire him because I'm good.
Sound like an expert to me, Mike.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to tell you about one lift ride and one lift ride only. Actually, 2. I have.
Liar!
That's what banned us in Russia. That song.
I can't wait to get on the road again.
So I had a scheduled ride, and what you do is, like, if you get up in the morning and you're bored, I say, "Oh, let me look at what scheduled rides need to be done on Lyft." So I go on Lyft, and there's one near my house, not too far from my house. The pickup takes. I'll do that. Why not? I'm bored. So I accept the ride. Then when it's time for the ride, they tell you to turn on your thing at this time so that you can accept the ride that you've scheduled. Okay, so I turn on my phone. And the thing dings, and I hit OK, and I hit accept. But I guess the original ride had canceled. So the second ride was a guy 35 minutes away. I had to drive through Hopkinton, morning rush hour. And then I finally picked the guy up. It's like 35 minutes to his house. And I said, "Where are we going?" He says, "To Logan Airport." 77-minute ride. We're talking about traffic, 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock in the morning, yeah.
I'm dying. I'm like, okay, so now I'm gonna do an hour and a half with this one dude on this one ride that I didn't even want. I didn't want to get that far away from home. I had plans. I was gonna mow the lawn. So, now I'm pissed, and the guy knows I'm pissed. I said, "Well, this isn't," so now he's like a hostile passenger. He's not mad. He's not yelling at me or anything, but I know he's feeling my pissedness and the circumstances.
It's the guy thing.
And because here's what happens. Yeah. You get involved in that half an hour here, hour and 10 minutes to get to the airport. It took 40 minutes to get back to where I live from the airport. So it's really a 2-hour investment.
And how much money?
I don't even want to talk.
$500.
So then
Would you get $8?
I follow this. I get off on Route 9. I said, well, I'll go down Route 9. Maybe I pick up one ride,
That's always a good move.
one ride on the way home. Something just for fun. Maybe it'll be a hot Brazilian girl from Framingham because I'm on Route 9.
Yeah.
No, I get behind this stream of traffic, and I don't know. I can't see far enough ahead to see what's causing the problem. Is it construction? Is there an accident? When I finally get there, behind all these trucks, people, because they were making them go into one lane. Route 9, Framingham on it. So it's three or 2 lanes the whole way.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a 15, 20-minute delay. I finally get to the cause of the problem. There's 3 police officers on motorcycles, and there's a U-Haul truck driving along at 5 or less miles an hour on the right-hand side, guiding, God bless him, I guess it was a guy that was trying to do something on one of those flat bicycles where you lay back. He was a crippled veteran or something.
Yeah.
And he's pedaling on a bike, and that's what's causing the miles and miles of backup on Route 9.
So it must have been one of those guys that's doing one of those the tours, like I'm going to bike across them.
Yes, or something, because...
I wonder who it was.
Completely, it's like you picture him pedaling, and he's laying back like he's on a platform, completely prone in reverse on his back, and he's going so slow that I'm thinking to myself, well, why couldn't they take back roads and alleviate the pressure on the guy and on everybody that was trying to get... Because but they had 3 cops escorting him. It was unbelievable. So I thought to myself, now that is a guy with, he's whatever he's doing. This is a guy who clearly had physical injuries.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking, that's a courageous, great thing, and I'd like to donate to whatever money he's trying to raise. But my advice to them would be make it less dangerous and take it off Route 9, for God's sake, one of the busiest roads in Massachusetts.
Yeah, that's Framingham for you.
Yep.
Always dumb shit going on.
Framingham is a weird place now, man. It really is.
Weird place now. It's been a weird place for 50 years.
So I heard that I might be making a radio comeback, and here's why. Ed Markey, our dolt, do-nothing, douche-water senator.
He's got nice hair.
He's got a bill on the table, a very important bill, and it's to make sure that every car you buy still has an AM radio in it. Now, okay, I came from AM radio, and so did you, Smitty.
Yeah, yep.
And we know...
I did AM radio.
You did?
Yeah.
So you went when?
When I worked with Jeff Katz and Jay Severin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. That's right. That's AM radio. So his bill is to keep AM radios. Well, they're in cars. They've always been in cars. The dumb part is if they're going to take them out of cars to what? Save $4 on each car sale?
No, they claim that no one listens to AM radio anymore.
I do.
And what they were really pissed off about is the political talk. They're trying to shut it all down.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay, well, that's stupid.
'Cause most of it
I
is
listen
on
to BZ all the time for traffic as a Lyft driver.
Yeah.
You know, BZ's a very professional radio station.
AM radio is excellent. And BZ, say what you will about whether you like the format or not. I do. They're all professionals. They're all really good people.
They're reliably like clockwork. Not only do you get the traffic every 10 minutes, but you get they segment things. Top of the hour, you get the top 5 stories. They got the weather, followed by the sports. You know what's coming.
And they've got Ben Parker.
And I love Ben Parker. I'm Ben Parker. He's got the most AM radio voice I've ever heard in my life. He's a good guy.
Good guy.
But the station is professional. At least you can say that, no matter what. And I rely on it for traffic. But
that's it.
This guy comes out with this. This is the one bill he's got is this AM radio bill, and the guy does nothing. And I'm all for what this bill is about. But Ed Markey, for God's sake, how does he get elected every time?
I don't know.
It's Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why you even asked that question.
He's awful.
It's Massachusetts.
I know. Now, have you guys ever have an experience called wet eye?
Excuse me.
Wet
eye.
and I don't want to know how.
Like crying?
Wet AMD, it's called. It's an affliction you can get in your eye where I'll tell you, your eye can manufacture proteins such as VEGF and ANG-2 asterisk.
Who knew?
Which can lead to leakage and swelling in the eye. It's like you see with someone like eyes that are just watering and pussy and weird.
That's got to be tough.
Like La Chief from Casino Royale. Okay, that probably will land with about 4 people in the audience.
La Chief.
Well, the reason I ask is because you know me, and I'm very glued into the TV and watching what these medicines have for disclaimers and all these. What are they for?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, like you don't give somebody a Biktarvy prescription just as a joke. It's not funny.
Yeah.
But the Vabysmo, 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 and they put these little chemically tricky names.
3 syllables.
Call him Fred or Hank or call him Lala. Call him something people remember. They were always this weird spelling bee stuff. Vabysmo.
Yeah, and they're always 3 syllables. Most of them are.
Is the first and only FDA-approved treatment designed to block the 2 causes of wet AMD. Now, I'd never heard of wet AMD till I saw this commercial, and it kept me awake for a while.
Big pharma at work.
But here's how you cure it with Vabysmo. It's not an eye drop. It's not a pill. It's an injection in your eye.
No.
Now, think about this.
Hold on. Do you do it yourself?
So if I stick a needle in my eye, I'd rather have the pus.
Yeah, trust me. So my mom every year has to get a steroid injection into her eyes.
Oh,
because she
your
has an
poor
eye.
mom.
Because she has
Let's
an eye
send her
disease.
a coffee cake.
Okay,
because she's nice.
Blueberry.
And
every
every
year
year
for the last
after she gets her next one,
18 years, 20 years.
After she gets her next one, we're going to send her a my grandma's coffee cake.
Now, has
Sounds
she
good.
described that experience? What that feels like?
When I think it's so absolutely disgusting, so I don't usually ask. But she's like, "You have to watch it. You can't not see it going."
Oh, that's right. You'd see it.
It's like you're
into the pupil
you're
or
awake.
on the side.
I think it's kind of right over to the side a little bit.
Ooh, man.
But like still,
that's
think about it. Like put your finger close to your eye from the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see it the whole time.
Do this though. the Three Stooges. Wise guy. Yes. Well, what was that? Cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye.
Yeah.
That's considered to be one of the worst things culturally in the history of mankind.
There's a jingle for Verbismo.
My mother used to say that. Well, it's better than a poke in the eye with a burnt stick. My mom used to say that, and I always think to myself, who told you that?
Why burnt?
And when did they do the comparison? Oh, that's sure better than a poke in the eye with a burnt stick. Yeah, well, isn't everything? Really?
I wash my back with a rag on a stick.
I didn't expect Bill Smith to pop off a Simpsons reference from 1998.
That's such a great
good.
line.
That's pretty good.
When Bart, like 30 years in the future, when he's a big fat fuck.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say that my mom, speaking of my mom belonged to Kappa Kappa Gamma, was the sorority that she was in, and she used to talk about it all the time.
Were they in Revenge of the Nerds?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't watch trash movies like that.
Wow.
Unless they're pornographic.
Yeah.
And then I
There's a lot of boobs in it.
I critique them. Kappa Kappa Gamma, I think it was out in Wyoming or Colorado. There's a sorority where this guy he's a trans guy.
Yeah.
And he's forced his way into this sorority, which is just on its face ridiculous.
Sorority, of course, all women.
All women.
And now this guy's a trans
This guy's
guy.
a 6'2", 260-pound, fat, ugly dude, and he's in the sorority house now because he's saying he's trans and his rights are to be. Okay, he's an asshole.
Is he from Delta House?
He's an asshole. So the girls that are complaining, they want him out. Why?
Fishy.
Because they found him watching them getting dressed and stuff and getting out of the shower, a fully excited state.
Well, there you go.
With a boner, basically. And this guy's so fat, I don't know how it even protrudes out of the fat rolls, but they're just disgusted with this guy. They don't want him in. And so now he's like fighting back that he wants to. Come on. This is where the gender thing gets to the point where it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it just gets kind of stupid.
It's not just the male swimmers against the female swimmers and all these. It's just not right. And if your daughter's in that sorority, you want that guy out, right?
Hall & Oates had that song, Do What You Want, Be Who You Are, but leave me the fuck alone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great expression.
Yep.
I wonder if Daryl or John Hall came up with that.
Daryl.
How do you know?
I know these things.
Really?
Yeah.
Daryl Hall, John Oates.
Yeah.
Did Oates do anything?
He played guitar.
He did?
Played guitar, he sang harmony.
He sang harmony and played guitar. What do you want from the guy?
He's a smart guy, too.
It just always felt out of place.
When you were
that
doing
he
the
was-
afternoon show with Mike Salk, did you ever say, does Ben do anything?
Yeah.
What does Ben do?
They were right.
Anyway, a quick promotional announcement here for our other podcast, which makes its re-debut again tonight. I mean, tomorrow or this week or whatever. What's it called? Oh, 15 Minutes of Shame.
Yes.
Where I'm going to shame the living shit out of some people.
Wow.
And you want to listen to it because it's only 15 minutes. I mean, for some people in our audience, it takes less than a dump when you take a dump. 15 minutes. You can actually bring it into the bathroom while you're taking a dump and know that it's 15 minutes long.
And
That's
right
how
at
I time my dumps.
At that 15-minute mark, it stops.
If you're in there more than 15 minutes, you probably have, given birth to a cobra in that toilet, and you want to get out of there anyway and make sure no one knows it was you. Yes.
It's poisonous.
That's
Now-
disgusting.
Have you ever dated anybody from Australia?
No.
No, but I've known some Aussies.
Because we have Joe and Jerry come by, and they want to do this Australian song. I
Really?
only had one woman from Australia that I ever dated, and I gave her. I looked it up, and I gave her an Australian kiss. It's just to make her feel at home, which is it's just like a French kiss, only down under. So we have this song for you from Joe and Jerry to wrap up our program tonight. I hope you enjoy this Australian thing. There's an old Australian stockman laying dying. Yeah, he's still dying. He's not dead yet. Gets himself up on one elbow. He turns to his mates who are gathered round him and he says, "Watch me wallabies feed, mate. Watch me wallabies feed. They're a dangerous breed, mate, so watch me wallabies feed. All together now.
Kangaroo down, sport. Tiny kangaroo down. Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down.
Keep me cockatoo cool, Curl. Keep me cockatoo cool. Don't go acting the fool, Curl. Just keep me cockatoo cool. All together now.
Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down. Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo
Take it, Joe.
down.
Take me koala back, Jack. Take me koala back. He lives somewhere on the track, Mac. So take me koala back. All together now.
Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down. Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down.
Okay, Troop, your turn. Let me abos go loose, Lou. Let me abos go loose. They're of no further use, Lou, so let me abos go loose. All together now.
Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down.
I love this.
Tie me kangaroo down.
This is
sport.
fun, Troop.
Tie me kangaroo down.
And mind me platypus duck, Bill. Mind me platypus duck. Don't let him go running amok, Bill. Let me platypus fuck.
Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down. Tie me kangaroo down.
That's Shaw's.
Tie me kangaroo down.
Play your didgeridoo, Blue. Play your didgeridoo. I'll like keep playing till I shoot through, Blue. Whatever that means. Play your didgeridoo. All together now.
Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down. Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down.
Tan me hide when I'm dead, Fred. Tan me hide when I'm dead. So he tanned his hide when he died, Clyde, and that's it hanging on the shed. All together now.
Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down.
Cruelty to
Tie me
animals.
kangaroo down, sport.
Let him get
Tie
him
me
tied.
kangaroo down.